Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. Thought I'd come out here after my run, kind of a nice scenery out here, be next to the pier. Check it out. Anyway, just finished a 7-mile run, and I actually tweeted something yesterday. I thought this would make a good video topic because this was going through my mind. I think when I was at the gym, because it was leg day, of course, right? And I was doing kind of very slow reps at the gym, trying to really maximize the time under tension as I'm doing my new program, kind of testing it out on myself. It's a pretty grueling workout. It's like about an hour and a half to 2 hours, basically every day, because you're running for about an hour and a half and you're lifting for about an hour and a half every single day. Well, you're alternating, but anyway, I don't want to scare you too much, but I was thinking about, and I tweeted about this idea of pain, about how we sort of see pain as the enemy, and we're always trying to avoid pain. And so what I was telling myself when I was doing that lift yesterday, and what I just did now when I was doing this run, was basically love the pain. Make the pain your home. Live in the pain. I did a tweet yesterday. I was like, make sweet love to the pain. And it's kind of funny, but it's also serious, because the thing is, we spend so much of our life trying to avoid pain. I just did my run, and that thought went through my head. I was thinking about those tweets yesterday. I was thinking about the idea of loving the pain, of living in the pain, making pain your home. That's where you live. That's not the place you run away from. That's where you live. You grow. You thrive in the pain. You don't avoid the pain. And I started running fast and running hard. I wanted to feel that pain when I was running, and to just relax in it, be comfortable in the pain. And so, normally I'm running like maybe 10-minute miles, maybe 10.5-minute miles. I usually don't take it too fast. But that last mile, my 7th mile, I ran an 8-minute mile. I ran it fast. In fact, the 5th, 6th, and 7th mile were around 8-minute miles, which, coming at the end of the run, being someone who runs a 10.5-minute mile, I was in quite a bit of pain. But I had pushed myself, because I realized, as I'm thinking about this more, this concept of pain is, all strength comes from pain, right? The place where we become stronger, where we become more powerful, always involves some amount of pain. If you think about it, physical strength comes from physical pain. You have to lift heavy weights. It's painful. It's not an easy process. There's no simple way to get around that. Mental strength comes from mental pain, right? Now, pain doesn't always result in growth, but and here's the key to it, right? And this is why I said, make the pain your home, live in the pain, love the pain, right? Grow, believe in the pain, be associated with the pain, be comfortable in the pain, is because when you're trying to avoid pain and you're experiencing pain, you don't grow, you don't get any strength. But when you're confronting pain, when you're living with the pain, when you're being comfortable in the pain, when you're making it your home, when you're accepting pain and not trying to avoid it, but you're seeking it actually out, like when you're lifting weights, when you're purposely doing things that are tough because they're going to cause you pain, when you're seeking things that are going to make you fail so you can see where your edge is, that's when you grow. That's when you become stronger. That's where you build strength and power. And if you want to build strength, if you want to build power, you've pretty much got to do that. So anyway, I thought this was a powerful concept, maybe something to chant in your head when you're running, when you're working out, when you're going through a tough time, is to live in the pain. I'm trying to think, I think one of the first things that got me on this thinking, because obviously, every week I have a theme, obviously, right? Like, I'm always thinking about something pretty deep, but I was listening to some music when I was trying to write, because I'm writing my new book, and I came across Third Eye Blind. I was like, oh, I like Third Eye Blind. I remember there was a song, what was it called? Motorcycle Drive-By, if you guys remember that song. I used to love that song. That used to be like, oh, it brings back memories. I used to just be blaring that song in so much pain over my, my silly, was a teenage, or pretty much teenage years of heartbreaks and that there's some lyrics in that song that resonate with me. It's right. It's like, what does he say? He says, I've never felt so alone, but I've never felt so alive. And that's pain right there, right? That whole song is about pain. And it's like, but that pain is making him feel alive, right? And that message resonated with me. I was like, gosh, some of these things that we're avoiding, some of these things that we're trying to get rid of, maybe we just need to live and accept them and let them eat away at us. Let us, open yourself to feel that pain and drive through it. Don't avoid it, because that's where the growth comes. That's where the strength is. I can't think of places in my life where I've grown, where I've had strength, really strength. I think growth comes from being uncomfortable. I think strength comes from pain. but I can't think of places where I've gained strength where there hasn't been a whole lot of pain first, and where I've accepted and willingly walked into the pain. So anyway, that's my thought for today. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.